Hello and welcome to Clemmy Games Recommends Songbringer, a trippy cacti-infused sci-fi action RPG in the vein of a classic Zelda game developed by Wizard Fool Games and released on Steam in September 2017. For disclosure, I received this game for free. Songbringer is unique in that you have the option to turn on or off permadeath, with the player having to input 6 characters at the start of every game in order to seed the world in a procedural fashion. Each world that is generated comprises of 1 overworld, 10 dungeons, and 13 primary bosses. However, I chose to switch off permadeath for this playthrough since I wanted to get through as much of the story as I could. What I love about the game is the pixel art and the lighting effects in particular, as well as the sense of wonder and exploration that the game creates. You play as the shirtless, top hat wearing Rock, who, together with his robot companion Jib, were shot out of the sky over the planet of Exera while searching for the legendary ship Songbringer. From there, Rock stumbles upon a mysterious sword in a cave, and upon pulling it out of the ground, unwittingly unleashes some form of ancient evil. Regardless, our heroes carry on searching for the Songbringer, and what follows is an old-school Zelda-like romp through a sci-fi world with fantasy elements. There isn't much of a traditional exposition in terms of story, but rather, you are left to figure out what is happening based on cutscenes, mysterious dialogue, and visions. While still rather vague, I gather that the sword that Rock picked up is linked to a mysterious character named Monk Zumash, and a location known as the Tower. This tower features prominently in most story sequences, and is perhaps linked to the ancient evil that was awakened when the sword was pulled out by Rock. Regardless, there is a fun sense of mystery to the game which kept me going. Critically, the map at the bottom left charts your progress and exploration, with it clearly indicating if there is another room adjoining the current one that you are in. This allows you to thoroughly explore the world, and while it is not infinitely big, it is a good chunk of landmass with several very interesting elements. Firstly, we have the enemies, which range from tiny elephants, jumping bugs, floating orbs, robotic spiders, fire conjuring mages, demon-like bipedal creatures, and even the toughest enemy which I have encountered, which is a snake man wielding a blade, with the latter few examples being encountered in the much tougher underground dungeons. The variety and design here was great, which brings me to the combat, which I would say is passable. It is not the most precise or most satisfying combat, which I think is due to the perspective, but as a core system, it is sufficient to get you to the more interesting bits of the game. However, perhaps the most fun thing about the combat is the sword, which hums as you swing it, very much like a lightsaber. As a result, simply swinging around the sword was fun on its own, which did definitely add to its charm. As you explore, you will come across underground dungeons, highlighted in green on your map, which are very helpfully numbered. The map legend states that these green squares denote a large biomass, which translates into boss fights, and the numbering is a guide that allows for smooth progression, although you could tackle these in any order that you like. Diamonds are the main form of currency here, found from killing enemies, or randomly from hitting bushes. These can be used to purchase upgrades and consumables from shops, which does unlock additional functionality, such as allowing Jib to attack, increasing the range of your top hat, or even additional scanner drones which reveal part of the map. Enemies do seem to respawn after a period of time, which does allow you to grind for currency if needed. While there is no XP in the game, the main form of progression is through items and what are essentially heart containers. As previously mentioned, item purchased or found increases the amount of things that you can do, such as the top hat boomerang, allowing it to be thrown, which can then activate levers in puzzle sections. A lighter, which is used to light pedestals, the ability to meditate, the ability to place bombs, and many more. Pretty natural feeling progression here, which did feel like a significant upgrade each time we got one. At the bottom right are your heart containers or demon teeth in this game, measuring your current level of courage or health. You can increase this by defeating bosses or by simply finding fragments of demon teeth in the world. We also have NPCs which add some flavor to the world. For example, I stumbled upon a hunter who immediately chided me for removing the sword, and thought that Rock was a fool for not knowing about the history of the tower and the world of Exera. However, the hunter did give me a quest to purchase some spirits for him from the shop, which did get me into his good books, and also rewarded me with a healing item. Dungeons themselves are pretty fun, in that while the atmosphere created is dark and oppressive, just like a dungeon should be, they are mostly filled with combat encounters and puzzle sections. One which did stand out to me was the entire floor of a room collapsing as I entered, but there was still a combat encounter to be resolved, and you could even travel to the next room through the edges of the collapsed room. Smart ideas and well-designed dungeons made this aspect pretty fun. So on to the mysteries of the game which I have not yet resolved. For example, there are mysterious statues of the same figurehead spread throughout the world, and these locations are marked on the map as points of interest, although I have no idea what to do with them. Also of note are mysterious root brambles, which I have not found a way to get past, and of course, the ever-present locked doors and puzzles spread throughout the world. The store page even states that you can go into cacti-infused psychedelic states, which will reveal secrets, and eventually, you will come across the Songbringer, which will then allow you to merge items that you have found into one with the functionality of both. This could potentially be quite a fun system to play with, and the game does really give you a very strong incentive to explore and to experiment, which definitely contributes to its charm. Overall, I really like Songbringer since it is filled with things to discover. The joy of discovery is a topic which has been discussed before in the context of games, of how too many games are hand-holding too much, and how nothing is left to the player for fear of developers putting in content that the player will never see. With Songbringer, however, Wizard Fu Games has shown confidence in their players and allows for a very natural discovery process. On top of this, the excellent pixel art, lighting effects, dialogue, and sense of humor rounds up a fantastic game which I wholeheartedly recommend. Anyway, that will do it for this video. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment if you like. Thanks again, and I will see you in the next video.